Over 300 flippin' episodes of Criminal Minds have aired since it debuted in 2005. Yeah, that's right, 14 years ago. The show has even had a couple of spin-offs, though neither were particularly popular or lasted super long. But now the show is wrapping up its 15th and final season in 2020. So while we wait for that, let's talk about how a ton of Criminal Minds cast members have come and gone and then come again. So why all the cast shakeups? Let's get into it. But first, hit that subscribe button for me and turn on your notifications so you'll be the first to know when more awesome content drops on Cinema Blend's YouTube channel. First, let's talk about Mandy Patinkin's Agent Jason Gideon. After heading the Behavioral Analysis Unit for 2 seasons, Patinkin left due to creative differences. Years went by before he finally explained his leaving. In an interview with Deadline, he explained that he didn't feel comfortable with a lot of the subject matter covered on the show, and he decided it wasn't something he wanted to be a part of any longer. His character's departure was equally as confusing, as Patinkin seemed to have caught the producers by surprise. Gideon was written out super quickly by resigning after a particularly difficult case. 8 seasons later, the character was killed off-screen by a serial killer being pursued by the BAU. Well, alrighty then. Okay, let's talk about Shemar Moore's Derek Morgan. He's one of the show's most popular characters and starred for almost 10 seasons. He has returned to Criminal Minds in a guest starring capacity since then. But when he decided to leave for good, he said it was to spend more time with his wife and newborn baby. Aw, cute. But then it was announced soon after that he would be starring in a new CBS show, SWAT. Well, okay. His send-off was more emotional than some of the others, since he was one of the few who left the show on very good terms with both the show's producers and CBS. Plus, it was insanely hard to see him say goodbye to his baby girl, Penelope. On the show, Morgan left the BAU for the same reason Moore gave, to care for his family. How fitting. Then there's Thomas Gibson's Special Agent Aaron Hotchner. His departure was by far the most controversial. He was fired from the show after an on-set fight with a producer that allegedly got physical during the filming of season 12 back in 2016. The show was only 2 episodes into the season when this craziness went down, and he was fired the day after the fight. As for his character, he was written out quickly. Hotch was placed in witness protection to protect his son from a serial killer. There has been talk about the character returning for a possible guest spot, but that seems pretty unlikely, given the fighting stuff. AJ Cook's JJ. This character also goes all the way back to the beginning. After season 5, it was announced that Cook did not have her contract renewed in what was reported to be a cost-cutting move. She did appear in a few episodes in season 6 to wrap up their storylines, but then she was gone. But not for long. Fans were outraged, and eventually the show brought AJ Cook back before the start of season 7, and she's been a cast member on the show ever since. Way to go, fans. And trucking right along here, Lola Glaudini's Elle Greenaway. She was in the first season of the show, and her character had a violent end to her run with the BAU, both being shot and shooting suspects in her final episode. While her character quit the BAU, Glaudini's personal reason for leaving the cast was not nearly as dramatic. She reportedly wasn't happy living in LA where the show was shot, and she wanted to return to her home on the East Coast. Fair enough. Then came Paget Brewster's Emily Prentice's run on the show. Prentice first appeared in the show in the middle of season 2 to fill the opening spot left by Greenaway. She continued on as a full-time cast member through part of season 7. That's when she left the show to pursue other opportunities. She did continue to guest star a few times, and then at the end of season 11, she returned for Shemar Moore's final episode. And then she returned for good in season 12. Paget Brewster has been back as a regular on the series ever since and is currently the unit chief of the BAU. Jean Triplehorn's Dr. Alex Blake joined the cast of Criminal Minds in season 8. Her run with the show was fairly short, and she left after just 2 seasons when contract negotiations fell apart. Blake's exit came after she decided that working in the BAU reminded her too much of her deceased son, and she was gone. In case you forgot like I did, yes, Jennifer Love Hewitt starred on Criminal Minds for a hot sec. She played Kate Callahan for 2 seasons before her character's arc ended super dramatically when a pregnant Callahan faced every mother's worst nightmare. Her niece, who she adopted after her sister's death, was kidnapped and then rescued. Kate decided she needed to take some time away to care for her daughter and unborn baby. And much like her character, Jennifer Love Hewitt left the show at the same time for maternity reasons. Adorbs. Blink and you might have missed Damon Gupton's very brief run in the show during season 12 as Special Agent Stephen Walker. Gupton left the show as fast as he joined when the network decided not to renew his contract in the wake of a bunch of cast maneuvers before season 13. And lastly, let's talk about Rachel Nichols' Ashley Seaver. She first joined the show as a guest star in a 3-episode arc that morphed her into getting signed on as a full cast member. Seaver was an up-and-coming FBI trainee, but that gig was controversial at first, with fans getting mad that it seemed like she was just replacing the two popular characters played by A.J. Cook and Paget Brewster. Ultimately, she didn't last long and was let go after one season when Cook and Brewster returned. Whew, and there you have it. Lots of cast shakeups in the world of Criminal Minds. It's been a wild ride for fans of the show and for the actors that helped make the show the huge success it is. Do you think everyone in the cast will make it all the way until the end? Let me know what you think in the comments, and while you're down there, do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you'll get pinged whenever we post more new awesome content like this.